Hello, my Chrono Odyssey enthusiasts. A sad but expected day for Chrono Odyssey. We have confirmation from the developers that the game has been delayed to Q4 2026. Now, to say I didn't expect this would be a total lie after seeing the version of the game we played. However, my hopium, copium, whatever you want to call it, still remains for this title, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the final release, and I'm really rooting for the devs to cook up something great. So, that being said, I really do feel this is a good decision, as at the end of the day, we all want a great product, and we do not something that is rushed, which we have seen time and time again. No matter how bad, we are itching for something good. This is a good decision at the end of the day. Let's talk about it. So without wasting any time, guys, let's just jump right into it. Here in the official Chrono Odyssey Discord, a post was put up by one of the mods, and it is official. And I'll put a link to this article in the description so you can go check it out for yourself. And we'll take a look at this here, and you can see that right there, plain and simple, Chrono Odyssey delayed to Q4 2026 by Kakao Games, which is the publisher. Right here, Kakao Games, the global publisher of the MMORPG Chrono Odyssey, has updated its release schedule and confirmed that the highly anticipated title is now set to launch in the fourth quarter of 2026. Originally, its global release was expected between Q3 and 4 of 2025, but the plan shifted after the results of the closed beta held in June. And boy, do we need to talk about that. We'll chat about that a little bit more. And as bad as even I want to get my hands on this, even I can admit it needs more time. But let's finish the article. The news was shared in an official company presentation that included an updated timeline of upcoming releases. Chrono Odyssey is now listed for late next year, alongside other titles such as Arcade Chronicles and Project Q. Kakao Games CEO Han Sang-woo explained, hope I pronounced that right, pardon me if I didn't, explained the reasons behind the delay. According to his statement, the closed beta revealed strong interest from the community, particularly in the Western market, raising the bar for the game's final quality. And it's pretty clear, right? If you go look at the Steam chart, the numbers were really awesome. There was a ton of interest in the game, and the obvious and overall consensus was that people were just so let down. And I really stand by my opinion of my first video that I did of my review video, which again, I will leave a link in the description to that. I stand by my opinion, really, that had they just not shown off the desired end product, they would have been in a much better boat. Here's a snippet of that. I think at the end of the day, had they not maybe showed what the desired product they want and just shown and been real about where they're at, they would have had a much more positive reception. Pretty clear that they just need more time to polish the game properly. So continuing here, we believe that if we meet the standard, the long-term success of the project will be much more likely, he said. While the game's universe, combat mechanics, and artistic concept received positive feedback, several critical issues were also identified, including client optimization, overall usability, and other technical aspects. So again, right, pretty obvious. If they deliver a great product, it's going to help with the longevity of the game. If they released it like in the state it was, it would have been a just absolute flop without a doubt, like we've seen with other titles before. And yeah, I completely agree. Like I said in my review, I loved the world and I really like the aesthetic they're going for, and it did feel fresh and everything. So I really stand by that and I like everything, and I completely agree with what they said here. Overall, just better optimization. The game needs to run better, and they just, just really saying still that they just have more work to do and that they want to reach the expectations that they set, As a result, both Kakao Games and the developer studio agreed to extend the development timeline to properly refine all pending elements. So as frustrating as that is, and as thirsty as we all are, and how dry we all are, and how bad we all want a really good fantasy MMO, I still think it's just a good choice, because at the end of the day, giving them more time to cook and more time to develop a truly great product is going to make us happier in the end, without a doubt. It's worth noting that the global closed beta took place from June 20th to 23rd, 2025. Although it generated high expectations, the test also drew criticism regarding performance, graphics, and available content. Some players even pointed out similarities with titles like New World. And I really do agree with that. I enjoyed the beta thoroughly, but it did have that kind of like New World feel, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I'd really like to see them expand on it, and I can absolutely see why they said that and why they drew that comparison. I feel the same way. Do you agree or disagree? Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to know. But I really don't think that's a bad thing, and I personally just can't wait to see what the second test is like, and I'd really personally like to try out the next beta test that they do. And they give us this nice little table here where you can see all the other releases. So that's really it, guys. In response, Chrono Studio has already published an ambitious roadmap of improvements that includes changes to the combat system, open world content, game balance, user interface, and more. With a new timeline in place, Chrono Odyssey aims to relaunch with greater polish and meet or even exceed the expectations of its global player base. So, that's quite a lot to chew right there. Let's break it down a little bit. At the end of the day, a little disappointing that we're not going to get it in our hands this year. However, I still feel very strongly that this is an absolutely good decision for the longevity and for the overall success of the game. Without a doubt, when you boil it all down, there was extreme interest. This game is a real testament to the fact that players, and fantasy MMO players especially, are really looking to sink their teeth into something. So without a doubt, if they can really make these changes, I truly believe that they'll deliver a great product and it can be successful. Now, my personal experience, again, I loved the new direction and the lore and the gothic tones they were going for, and I really personally loved everything I saw with the skill trees. I really wanted to try all the different skills and get more in depth and really try out some more of the PvP as well. There were so many mechanics that I really didn't dive into the way I properly wanted to. So like I said, if they do a second beta test, you can absolutely believe that I will be jumping in there to try it. I really can't wait to see. The running animations were very junky, all very stuff that's been covered over and over and over again. The game really just needs a lot of polish and just some time, but I truly believe that there is something great waiting, really a diamond in the rough here, and I really think with enough time, they'll be able to cook up something great. There's just so many great elements here at the end of the day, and there's so many elements I really love. This is the exact niche I love, fantasy MMO PvP. I think at the end of the day, we all really want it to succeed. Everyone was just incredibly thrown off and let down. They just blew a ton of smoke with those trailers, which every company should have learned their lesson on that by now. We know what happens when we show false advertising, basically, and then they gave people that CBT, and people were just so let down. And my big fear is that they might have stained their image too much by the time release comes, but who knows, man? You've seen success with games like No Man's Sky and all these other titles that can turn it around. So I don't doubt that if they just release a great product, everyone's going to come, right? If you build it, they will come. And I really feel like that with this, that even people have a bad taste in their mouth after that first CBT, I have no doubt that the sommelier can whip up a better second round for everyone and really change everyone's opinions of this game. So that's really how I feel. So yeah, guys, again, that article, I'll link in the description if you'd like to take a look for yourself. So that's really where we stand. No Chrono Odyssey releasing in 2025. However, it's a great thing, in my opinion, that the devs are going to be working on delivering a much better and more optimized finished product for us to enjoy. So I really enjoyed what I saw. I really enjoyed that first play test. And like I said, I really, truly cannot wait to get my hands on a second play test. I'd love to see the improvements and try out the couple of the classes that we didn't get to try yet. You know, we only got to try a couple of the classes, and there's just so much more to try out. And I loved what we saw with the skill trees and everything. I personally just thought there was so much good here to see. And, you know, there's so much good that I want to uncover and more that I want to see personally. When it's really easy to bash on and everything, I really think it's important to focus on the positivity and look at the good stuff, right? And look at all the good things. And yeah, that's where I'll leave you guys. I really appreciate your time. How do you feel about it? At the end of the day, there's so much interest for a title like this that if they can deliver something great, people are going to show up and have a great time, and the game will be successful without a doubt. I'd love to know what you think, guys. As always, I hope you're happy and healthy and well. I will be covering this game a ton as it releases and looking out for more beta tests as it comes, as I really love these types of titles. That's it, guys. I'm trying to stay on a positive note with this game. I'm really rooting for it. Let me know what you think, guys. Much love. Take care. Can't wait to try the next version of Chrono Odyssey.